All right, so next we're ready to move on to our 5 key elements in preparation for our exercise and our movement patterns. So the first key element is breathing. Before we learn how to do the type of breathing that we're interested in during this practice, the first step is just an awareness. You can do this laying down in your Pilates rest position that we just learned, or you can do it sitting up. I encourage you to try it in your Pilates rest position because your body's nice and relaxed and it's a nice calm space. And so what you do in that position is you start to be aware, right? So no judgment, nothing forced. You're not trying to change anything. You're just trying to be aware of what your body naturally does in terms of breathing, So do you breathe in your chest? Is that where your air goes? Do you breathe in your belly? Do both, move, rise and fall as you breathe. Do you take quick breaths? Are they slow? Are they fast? Maybe do you take a really big inhale and a really short exhale? Everyone breathes differently. There's no right or wrong in terms of how you're breathing. The first step is just to close your eyes and gain some awareness into your breathing. So I encourage you, if you need to pause the video for a moment and just take that moment, find your Pilates rest position and just take a few breaths and start to, increase your awareness of what your natural breathing pattern is. So once we're aware of what our natural pattern is, we want to try and practice a very specific breathing pattern that is going to be very helpful in learning how to control our ribs and our core. And basically, this breathing is all about focusing on the ribs, okay? So what it's going to end up looking like is as you take a breath in, it's almost like your rib cage through here expands out towards the side. Really, the ribs kind of flare a little bit. And as you exhale, the ribs come in and down a little bit. So you start to feel some engagement in your core on the front through here as the ribs come in and down. So what it looks like is as you take a breath in, my rib cage expands out towards the side. And as I breathe out, my rib cage comes in and down. Okay, so again, I'm doing this in sitting just to make it easier to see on the video. Feel free to do this in your Pilates rest position. So again, breathe in. Rib cage expands out towards the side. Much easier said than done. It definitely takes some practice. So I encourage you to take a moment and practice those breaths, right? If you're feeling some tightness or some cramping in your back or other areas when you do it, don't force it quite so much. Just start gentle. Be gentle with your body and practice a little bit of a breath and a little bit of an exhale. Just starting to try and make that connection with your body and where those movements are you're intending for them to happen. And with practice, you can expand a little bit more and more. But what we don't want is we don't want to feel, spasm or tightness in other areas. We're just starting to engage and connect with some movements and some muscles that we're probably not used to asking to work for us very much. So again, hands on your side, expanding those ribs, full out to the side and letting them go down. A little trick, if you're having a hard time connecting and getting that rib cage to move a little bit, is if you're laying down, especially in your Pilates rest position, you can grab something like the towel that you used, for your neck, or a different towel, and just kind of roll it up. And while you're laying down, you can put it between your knees and squeeze right here. When you activate the muscles on the inside of your leg, it helps to kick on some of the muscles in your belly and makes it a little bit easier to find that those muscles that are helping to move your ribs. So what you would do if you're having a hard time with it is squeeze between your legs and then practice your Pilates breathing. And it's amazing how much easier it is to find those muscles to help your rib cage to move. All right, give it a go, and we'll be back with the next element in just a sec.